Hey guys, thanks for joining us on Shark Tank, AFTERBUZZ TV's Shark Tank After Show. I hope I remember how to do this. We've been gone for like 4 weeks, you guys. So excited to be back. Apollo Peak tonight, SeedSheet, CropSticks, Under the Weather. Also, do you remember MealEnders from like 4 weeks ago? Well, they sent us some MealEnders. We can't wait to eat them. Yes, I've lost my voice. I know it. You know it. Let's start chatting. Here we go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
It was funny because right at the point where I'm going, why doesn't she tell them that she lost her voice? You say, under the weather. I'm like, yeah, she is.
I feel like there's a lot of laughter going on that side of the table.
Yeah.
Well, we've got to start out laughing, I suppose. Hey guys, so nice to be back with you. I'm trying to lean into the mic. I know I'm getting made fun of already, but you know what the point is? I am dedicated to you, and I wanted to be here even if you think I sound sick, which I do. I'm Zoe Hewitt. You can find me at Real Zoe Hewitt. Oh my God, I almost even forgot it for a second, but Real Zoe Hewitt, that's ZOEHEWITT. And sitting to my left, the ball of laughter is...
I just have to say the funny thing was, just before the engineer says, okay, Zoe said what? She's like, no, I'm Zoe Hewitt. I'm the real Zoe Hewitt.
Was it like the Titanic when Kate Winslet's on the floating door going, after she's pushed Jack off because there wasn't room on the door.
Sorry.
So who are you?
I'm Chris Howard. Thanks for asking. You can find me at Chris Howard Live on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, right mateys. I'm just so glad to see these crazy sons of guns here.
Sons of guns.
Since
This
is
is
a
a family show.
show.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, she's saying sons of guns.
This is Constance Dunn. How are you doing, everyone? We're so glad to be back. You can find me at Instagram or Twitter, Constance Dunn.
Do we have cool fans on there?
We have cool
friends.
fans. We have fantasy fans and friends. Fantasy Stats Guru and Tina Harorka. And Tina does say, I'm sorry, Zoe, you do sound funny.
Tina, hold on. Say Tina's last name again.
Harorka.
Harorka. Yeah.
Well, she's over in, where is she?
Czechoslovakia? No.
Yeah.
Somewhere that's not here on the other side of the world. Tina,
Belgrade?
you are getting ready to go to work. I remember that, and I hope we don't make you late, but I'm so glad you're with us. Now,
Yes.
starting out, if you guys remember from like 4 weeks ago or more, MealEnders were on the show. Now, the MealEnders were like the lozenges that you can eat.
She's
and
saying MealEnders.
I'll lean right in. These were the lozenges that you can eat that are supposed to curb your appetite. Now, they were so nice. They sent us all 4 flavors. I don't even know where to look with these. There's so many. You'll notice one is empty, and that's because we split them up since there are 3 of us. So
We combined all our flavors into one bag for each, so we have each a
We
third
each have,
and a third
exactly.
and a third.
and a third.
Yes, we said that wasn't going to be hard to explain. She's like, oh shit, why? What are we going to tell them? One of the bags is empty, and there's only 3 bags, and what are we going to say?
Okay, well, it seemed a lot more complicated. Okay, so
Someone's going to get 1/3 of one MealEnder.
So the consensus, you guys, was that we were going to eat them live on air so you could get like a real glimpse at what they're like.
But it looks like to eat them. If you saw these on Shark Tank,
In case you've forgotten.
Zoe was so convinced that if we ate them live on air, there would be so much dead time because we'd all be sucking on our MealEnders.
So maybe we do it at different times. You talk, I'll suck.
You talk, I'll suck.
I'm going
Did you just say that?
Alrighty.
All right. Okay, and I've been eating popcorn. Now, we're not supposed to bite these. And were these invested in? They weren't, were they?
They didn't get a deal.
They didn't get a deal.
They didn't get a deal, but you know what? I remember, of course, the founder and the CEO, the entrepreneur, he was from San Francisco, and what they do is basically it relies on behavioral and sensory science to comprehensively cue the end of eating, and it integrates easily into your existing routine.
It's weird because it tastes like, at first when you stick it in your mouth, it's got like this, almost like a plasticky type shell on it.
But the chocolate's good. I'm eating chocolate mint. What are
really
you
good.
eating? It tastes really good. It tastes like an Andes Mint.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
But now I really want to bite through the hard sucker.
Right. Me
Is
too.
that where the science is? And all of a sudden you're going to be blasted with the science and
think
you won't
so.
ever want to eat again?
Oh, I feel it starting.
Are you getting the weird stuff?
I am. Oh,
Me
I
too.
like
It's
it.
just starting.
It's all tingly. My mouth is
Really?
tingly.
Yeah, you're supposed to allow it to dissolve, right?
Okay. Mine's getting there. I can feel a little bit of a tingle.
Oh, I like it. It's all tingly in my mouth.
It's fun, huh?
I like a game.
You know what's funny? I'm gonna try testing these before I leave because I have a bad habit. Sometimes I like McDonald's Happy Meals.
That's a terrible habit.
I know it's not a good. I don't do it a lot.
I've done it too.
Okay, yeah, I don't do it a lot. And like I said, I do a kids meal, so it's not that bad. So I'll try a MealEnder, and if it makes me not just drive right past McDonald's and go tally ho.
It's kind of weird now, huh?
I
You
like
know
it.
what?
I'm still tingly.
You know what it kind of tastes like to me now is like zinc. Like if you were to suck on a zinc tablet.
I don't know if I've sucked on a zinc tablet.
Really? You should if you got a cold.
I suppose you're right.
Zinc.
That makes me want to cough.
Yeah, and actually, I think Zoe should use her voice and just go with it because it sounds pretty sultry.
It
so.
does.
This
We're
is
gonna
my
leave her
sexy
alone. We're
voice.
leaving you alone.
Yeah,
Well, it's not like I have a choice.
yeah.
It reminds me of that episode of Friends where Phoebe got sick and then loved her sick, sexy voice. Okay,
That's
I guess
right.
I'm the only one. Oh, good. Not just me.
We're gonna totally make some extra cash off of you, sign you up for sex phone lines and stuff. Okay, now
Family show.
Yeah.
No, we keep it clean sex, but now this taste, I can see how that would make you not want to eat anything.
Not me. I kind of want to eat another one because the chocolate was good.
Really?
I still have more of mine. Are you done with yours? I
think
really want to
suck
bite
faster
it.
than you. I mean, just
I'm savoring.
you're savoring it.
So the idea is, does it leave just a funky taste in your mouth? Like, you know, you brush your teeth and you're basically not going to eat anything if you brush your teeth.
Oh, yeah. It tastes like you brushed your teeth. She's totally right.
Does it?
Yeah. Yeah. Fantasy Stats asks, is it tingly because of the sucking? I think there's something in whatever this hard part is, and whatever reaction it causes is what causes the tingle. But you're right. It makes me think of brushing my teeth.
It's a tingle. Kind of. It does. Kind of.
Yeah.
It does.
That's a good description.
It's like you still got toothpaste in your mouth.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Like we're sucking
Or like
toothpaste.
zinc, like a combination of a zinc tablet and toothpaste in your mouth. Yeah, I think that's it. We should probably get on with the show.
Yeah.
I told you I didn't want to eat these on air. I still have mine.
No, but that's
Okay.
all right. That wasn't dead time. People appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I hope everyone
So the
appreciated our taste
consensus-
test. Consensus is this is good. I don't know if it would make me stop eating because I like it so
I
much. I
like
want to
it.
eat
I
another
actually
one.
think that this was investable. I don't know why.
Or because how is it going to make you stop eating? Do you really want to stop? No,
I don't
want
feel like
another
eating
one.
a Big Mac right now.
But did you before?
Probably. I was eating popcorn, and I don't feel like eating popcorn.
Oh.
You know, part of what it does too, it kind of interrupts the thought process, so that pattern.
Oh, because you're stopping eating.
Yeah, because it's stopping you.
Yeah, but I could eat another one, like candy.
Right, and I think if
That's the
someone
thing.
has a compulsive problem,
I don't feel like another one.
You would just keep eating them as
yeah,
candy.
or just you just ignore that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I think you take them because you want to not eat.
Well, I want to not eat.
But you keep eating.
That's really funny.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
yes, and you know what? I remember one of the impediments to getting a shark interested was there was the sales. For instance, Mark Cuban,
It was
I
too early?
recall. Well, he said that there should have been more sales, like for instance, repeat customers.
Right.
That
Right, they didn't have the
Oh
repeat.
yeah, they
that
weren't
was
getting
the
the
big
repeat
issue.
customers.
Right.
And I have to admit, I just had like a teeny bit left, and I did just crunch through it, and my mouth feels really nice. It makes me think of like maybe Pop Rocks, like that sort of tingle. Tina asks if I'm hungry, or if we're hungry, can we think of any food we'd want to eat? But to be honest, since I've been sick, in 3 days I've barely had anything so.
I can tell you, Tina, that like I have no desire. Like I could imagine when I think of cake. Like
I love cake.
Like cake with a nice white frosting or something, and like ice cream cake.
You
No,
lost me.
chocolate cake.
There you
Chocolate,
go.
yeah,
I'm back in business.
She's back in. But I just have no desire for that right now.
Well, there we go.
Normally I like it. It's cupcake. Almost no desire.
Almost.
That's funny.
And on that happy note, another
Okay.
meal that you can have with someone. So,
MealEnders.
Apollo, yes, MealEnders. Sorry. Apollo Peak Brandon, he was asking for $100,000 in exchange for 10%.
Yes.
As I'm starting this, I realize maybe one of you should have been reading out these synopses.
Yes.
I got distracted on our show here. It's our Karan says this is episode 14 discussion, but we're at episode 20. So sorry, that's why I paused, because I got myself distracted looking at that. So 20, we're like almost done. We have maybe 7 to 9 more episodes.
Right.
Last season, I think we had 29. At any rate, Apollo Peak, Brandon, $100,000 in exchange for 10%. Basically, this is what he jokes is wine for cats, and they have a dog line, but it's non-alcoholic, so I think that's really good to make clear up front. It's basically catnip, which the cats go crazy for. And so the crazy thing to me, so a bottle, a small size, costs $11.95 to buy at the store. It only costs him $1.25, but $11.95 to buy it. He sold $192,000 in 3 months, and he's projected for 1.2 to 1.5 million. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. Exactly. It's amazing. And at $11.95, retail tag is only for the 8-ounce bottle, too.
The tiny.
Yeah, the little one. And it's amazing. But,
so that's what, how many? About 19,000 drunk cats?
Well, they're not. They're drunk on catnip.
They're drunk on catnip. And it's beets as well. So
beets and
organic herbs.
I was kind of surprised by that they could put catnip in a drink and it would still have the same effect. Potency. Because when you put catnip in front of your cat, it's like rolling in the catnip and stuff like that, and it's it seems like the external manifestation is part of it. So I don't know.
It has to do with the cat, because not all cats are aroused by catnip. Actually, it's like some genetic sort of thing.
Right.
And so, like, one of my cats likes to eat it. So, like, I can't really keep it in the house because she'll just eat the whole plant. And so it must be that ingestion, whereas my other cat likes to roll in it, like you're saying. And a cat that I used to have was not into it. So.
The one that eats it, does it get all loopy when it eats it, or no?
She gets loopy sort of by eating it. And she's always kind of loopy, to be honest. She's a very high-strung cat. She's fantastic. She's just she's like me and cat.
That's what I was going to say.
Yes, she is. She totally
I'm like,
is.
you're totally describing yourself.
Yes, I know. Now, one of the things I thought was really interesting was that Kevin said he used to work for a cat food company, and what he found is that cats are picky, and so if you send it to 5 people and even just 2 of them like it, they'll keep buying. So I was surprised he was into it. I mean, did you guys think this was a joke at first?
Yes, I thought that he'd have nobody, and then there was like a dog fight between Kevin and Damon.
That was kind of interesting. Yeah, that was. It seems like a novelty thing, and I think that Robert said it best when he said, "You're the pet rock of the cat wine business." You know, it's like, and it seems like that. It seems like a novelty that's a one-off buy. But maybe Kevin's right. Maybe they will buy it in cases once they've got it as part of their thing. I'm not
It kind
sure.
of makes sense because look, the wine industry is big, and you can kind of put 2 and 2 together. You can do some investigative reporting. Ladies who like wine, who love their cats,
are going to buy it.
who have a glass of wine every night just as a habit and want to share it with their cat. Because, like
Here's
you
our
said,
wine.
you're not drinking with anybody else, so you might as well drink with your
You
cat.
think they'd want champagne then?
But didn't you guys think that was the funniest sales pitch, right? Don't drink alone, so give your cat wine.
Yeah.
Like like I thought it was just a pure joke.
And he was surprised he got offers too. The guy, it's like I wasn't expecting any offers.
I know, he was really funny. Brandon was. But I could see there'd be a market for it for sure.
Right.
I guess to put in perspective, when I buy the little thing of catnip from like PetSmart, I think it's something like $4. And so my cats, especially the one that eats, especially, like, it's destroyed very quickly. So I wonder how long, like, if you, like, that 8-ounce bottle would last, if it proportionally lasts the same amount as if I were buying 3
how many
things of
servings
catnip.
do you get? Is
Right.
What you're wondering, yeah.
If I had to buy 3 of those things of catnip, it would be the equivalent.
Right.
Could be, yeah.
So maybe it's not as expensive as it seems.
Right.
I don't know.
And it's the ritual, too, of having the bottle. and
Right.
everything that's
Hey,
part
let's
of it.
bust out the
See,
bottle
he's going to sell
for the cat.
tons just for somebody who's like trying to find a gift for their friend who's really
Totally,
into the cat.
yeah, like a gift item, that
true.
type of thing. But it's not a repeat buy. That's
It doesn't seem like it.
Unless it is. Kevin seems to think it is.
Yeah, and I guess it's the same branding as like Fancy Feast. the food for cats and dogs that's like, oh, your pet is fancy, and so you feed them elegant. Haven't you guys seen the commercials?
Right.
You're looking at me.
Of course.
Like,
Oh,
I've seen it. They
Fancy
always do these
Feast.
commercials.
Yes.
Like, this cat food has been around for like.
I know Fancy
life.
Feast. I just never really kind of put two and two together.
Well,
Yeah,
they
because
were
they
one of the
put it on. Yeah, they
first
put
to
it on
have-
like porcelain.
Right,
Yeah.
and they had actually the tops that you didn't need a can opener.
I'm gonna
which
eat
could
another one of
move,
these things.
And they were gold tops. Like, they did a great job with that. They found that there was a niche for people who were like, oh, my cat's very
Right,
niche.
it's, right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, I want to point out that, Chris, by eating another meal ender, you are defeating the
You know why
entire
I'm eating another one,
purpose.
though?
Because you're hungry?
No, because like I wanted to see. I actually had a glass of Coke, and I wanted to see what was happening. And like I took the first couple of tastes, and I didn't really want to drink it, but I forced myself to finish that Coke, and now I feel like I kind of washed away the benefit. So
So basically, you didn't want it, but you kept going.
exactly.
Which is the whole problem with obesity, right?
Right, or
That like you keep eating.
compulsiveness.
Compulsive. Well, I mean that like that you keep eating.
Yeah,
You're full.
so
That's the whole point.
I
Like,
get
I
it,
know
I
when
get
I'm
it.
full and I keep eating.
All right. Well, next I won't drink any more Coke, but there's none in the freaking thing anymore.
Are you trying a different flavor?
I am trying a
Oh,
different
good.
flavor.
You
Yeah,
can
I
keep
wanna
us
see.
posted.
I
Okay,
will.
Tina says she used to have a rabbit that liked to drink beer, so I can't. Cats like wine.
That's funny.
A rabbit, a beer drinking rabbit.
So he did wind up with a deal with Kevin. Kevin initially said, excuse me, I'm sorry, that he would do it for 33 1/3%. Damon said he would do it for 25%. Now, mind you, Brandon had offered 10% at the beginning. He countered for 15, and they agreed at 20. So he got a deal with Kevin, so $100,000 for 20%.
Yes.
Now, Kevin has the 18th largest wine distributor in the country, so he thinks, he already has this database of people. You can knock out 2 for 1,
It
right?
could have
Right.
gone either way. Both of them had
Different,
and
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damon was about direct to consumer, getting him into the big chain stores, and Kevin was
Pet stores.
about the mail order, whole like keeping it where he has his profit, where he's just basically just doing it all. Mail order, not mail order, but direct to consumer. So I guess that was like a
from his wine list.
right. So
Of people that were
And-
yeah.
And
There was some targeting.
Yes, yes. I would kind of like to try drinking it because it's just beet juice, right? Like it seems like it would be a healthy drink
With
for
herbs.
humans too.
and
Like
herbs.
catnip wouldn't kill you.
And you'd probably
get
get
a little
frisky.
excited.
You'd get a
I
little
know.
frisky, yeah.
Let's start drinking that stuff down.
I just
Okay.
ate this citrus one was pretty good.
Oh, okay, really? Can't wait to try it when I
enjoyed
move
it.
on to my next.
So
Constance, are you in or out?
you know what? I think I would be out.
Mm.
It's a sign of the times, but it's a annoying one. But
Yeah, I would be out. I liked it. I thought it was cool and kind of cute, but I wouldn't be into it.
I liked Brandon, but I would be out. I thought it was too much of a joke.
Hey guys online, what do you say? In or out?
Yeah, fantasy
Let us know.
stats. Tina, let us know. Are you guys in or out? Anyone else who's lurking in our chat? We're gonna move on to SeedSheet and
Lurking.
lurking. Like they're watching but not commenting.
But lurking
I'm calling
sounds
them
very,
out.
sounds,
You're right, it does. I'm sorry,
obscene.
guys. You're not lurking.
You guys are not obscene.
And you're not obscene. Those were not my words.
non-participating viewers.
Not people who have
NPVs.
not become our good friends yet, but you're our friends.
Oh, come on. Tina and Ben are our friends. Oh,
No, the people we don't know.
I revealed his name.
Well, we know his name, but I mean the people we don't know. The lurkers.
No, the lurkers.
I'm saying.
You've been revealed. Your cover is blown, Ben. Grab your toothbrush and run out of your house.
We need protection. So Ben, aka Fantasy Stat, says he's out. He's not into niche pet products. Tina says she's out too. It's too silly to her. I'm just having fun twisting on my chair. I just noticed. So I'm going to twist my way over to SeedSheet.
Now this one's really, I'm really getting this.
Are you on a third one?
No, second.
Here's the thing about
But
Apollo.
I'm getting this. Like I could not eat.
I just have to get into this a little bit.
Yes, please.
Okay,
This
go
is
ahead.
where it gets weird. Let's just say I'm a person that's the perfect target consumer for this wine.
Right.
I order it to drink with my cat because no one else will drink with me.
Right. Yeah.
So already the scenario being painted is not a hot,
No.
like fun one. And then I actually open the bottle and I'm like, and here's yours, Elizabeth James III. And I get like, I
Yeah.
put the wine and I go,
Good point.
cheers. I mean, that's like
Weird.
That's an excellent
pouring
point.
your cat wine while you have wine and then like clicking glasses and enjoying a glass of wine with
Yeah.
your cat.
Yeah. Is very what?
What? How are you not catching on?
Yeah, I can dial it back little bit.
What are you-
She's just saying it sort of starts to feel pathetic, like you have no one to drink with, so you're like, come on, Fluffy, let's have some wine together.
Fluffy
Yeah, but
the
if
third.
you pitch and shoot this ad the way she's explaining it, but you do it in a cool, like, oh, I'm so high class, I drink wine with my cat because no one else is good enough to drink wine with me. Instead of like, I'm so sad and lonely, I'll just drink
spun
with
it.
my
You
cat.
spun it.
That was
And
awesome.
then here's the thing, because I do a dating show, on our sister
Yeah.
network,
Right.
Black Hollywood Live. So this would be the thing. Let's just say we talk a lot about marketing yourself online,
Right.
and of course, enhancing what you have, increasing your mate value, all that stuff. So at one point, we're on a date, and I actually bring up that I buy wine
For your
my
cat.
Then you got a problem.
Yeah, and then you'd be the Chris Howard Live, and you'd be like, like what guy would be like,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You
I
know,
have to
you
go
know
to the
what?
bathroom.
If they're a little twisted, it's all right.
The date
Yeah.
in Constance's
Yeah, it's all right.
hypothetical.
If they're like 25% tweaked or twisted, it's cool.
I do feel like we need like a yay, because that I hadn't thought of a good way to market that, and
Okay.
that does sound a lot more
Yay.
positive. Yeah.
I think
Just
that's
saying.
something that's like one Instagram or viral video from, like the Pet Rock situation. It's one like instant click away from being like,
Really?
oh, everyone who has a pet needs this wine for their pet.
See, they needed you to
And
pitch
then-
it. They needed you to
needed
pitch
to
it.
and then
it.
in 4 months, no one cares about it anymore. But hopefully, you've saved all the money that you
You
made.
made your millions. Right.
So I think those are really good points. I think now they need to start a viral campaign. And hey, Apollo Peak, Brandon, if you need us to help with it, we've got you covered.
Just picture like a video shot like the phone sex commercials.
Yeah.
I like
As
how you look
like-
at
Looking at
me.
this.
The
Is it a
girl's,
cat?
the girl's in like a sexy outfit. She comes through. She gets her wine. She sits down, and then she pours it for her cat. And it's just like the wine for this cat, and that's the commercial. Like those could
But-
easily
Right.
go viral.
We wish
That's
And
you
then
joined
everyone's
us.
like, "Damn, I gotta buy this for my pet. I don't even need it, but I'll buy it." And then it's like the gag gift that you're giving at Christmas and the white elephant gift. Like,
Right.
oh hell yeah, a bottle of wine for my cat. What the hell is this? And they're like, "No, you could drink it too." You know, who knows?
Would the cat in your video be wearing a bow tie?
I would want that cat from the French video that went all viral, where
Yeah, boy, you had the cat already chosen.
You've cast him already.
I know
He's
you-
been cast
there's
already.
a video
We're
where
not
like
doing auditions.
this guy just follows his cat around, and it's all shot in black and white, and the voiceover's done in French, and it's like what the cat's thinking, and it's hilarious.
That sounds hilarious.
Brandon, I hope you're watching, because we've got you covered.
We got you covered. Yeah, we
And
have to move
apparently, I
on,
have
don't we?
the sex voice.
Yeah.
You have the sex
But
voice.
only for another day, hopefully. I mean, I hope it doesn't last longer. Now, for like the third time, fourth time,
Yeah.
seed sheet, Cam, $500,000 in exchange for 10%. In case there's any confusion, this is not Cam, who used to be on Shark Tank with us. This is an entirely new Cam. He called himself a Vermontrepreneur. I loved Cam, I have to say. And basically, these are like seed pods that are in a sheet, seed sheet, and you just roll it out on the dirt and water it. Like, it is that easy. And it's so cool because they have different food, so you can get like the taco guacamole mix and like for different mixes, or you can custom order. How awesome!
I love this.
Me
I liked
too.
it
I know.
too.
I have to say one thing. If
Yes.
you eat a second one of these, you won't want to eat anymore. Like, I'm feeling a little off now.
Like on a psychedelic trip off?
Well, kind of, yeah. And it, like, my tongue is all tingly and stuff, and like it's like I don't want another one for sure, and I don't think I want to eat anything. So that's
I wonder
good
if
news.
it's because you had citrus, and citrus is tingly to begin with.
I think it's because I had 2 of them.
I feel like you need to have 3 and find out.
Never eat again.
Back to the garden. The garden
yes.
was
So the garden-
bitching. That was cool.
Yeah, hacked agriculture. That's what Cam did, and he was wearing a snazzy outfit too. If you guys caught
I
that.
did not
He
catch
would,
his
yes, they
snazzy
were
outfit.
pretend overalls.
Were they really?
Yes, it was like if you're wearing a t-shirt that has a tuxedo.
Okay.
I loved
And
him.
you called it snazzy?
It was interesting. I wonder whether he's actually from Vermont. I'm a New Englander, so I have a nose for these things. Just a
imagine.
little side.
I'm not
note.
sure. I loved his story, how he brought architecture to.
Yeah.
Agriculture, right?
Yeah. I thought that was very cool.
That weed blocking fabric. It was
So good.
pretty innovative.
Insane.
And he said the price actually wasn't bad, like if you're gonna buy high-end organic seeds.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, when I buy seeds, I just buy the cheapo, like $1 packets from Home Depot. But if you're gonna buy the nice ones, so the smallest size, which is 12 inches by 36 inches, which is a standard like window box size, $14.99 retail, $7.50 wholesale, and it costs him $1 to $3 to make.
So if you haven't seen this show, guys, it's like this rollout mat that has all the little seedlings planted in for your own organic garden.
I thought I said that.
Yeah.
Did she say that?
Well, kind of.
Kind of.
Did you
but
tune
then you
me out?
water it. I do sometimes, Zoe, but I don't think I did that. I was just kind of adding to the visual. That's all.
Yeah, so it is.
Please add
it's
away.
novel.
Go ahead, add.
It's definitely novel, and it's precision too. This is the thing, especially with novice planners, as Cam talked about, that you don't have the precision, and of course, the great thing about the sheets is that it's done expertly. But then I guess you miss something a little in the experience of digging in the dirt with your
I guess.
little fingers.
I just planted some flowers in my garden recently, and because I was like, I'm gonna save some money, like we've had the gardener do it the past few years, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it myself. And I did it, and to be honest, I was like, oh, next year we're totally paying. I
so would
used
you
to
buy this
garden a
product?
lot. I would totally, like I used to garden a lot, then I stopped, and like I said, I've been away from it, and I got back and I was like, these were a lot of flowers that I just planted.
Even a gardener would buy the product then.
But I'm not like gardener. I'm like
know,
a
but you
hobbyist. I've dabbled.
Right.
I
have
haven't
knee
dabbled. I'd buy
pads.
the product if I wanted that stuff in my house.
It's neat. So he did wind up with a deal. Lori was super passionate about it. So he has made $156,000 in 20 months, so one garden season. And so he did wind up with a deal with Lori, $500,000 for 20%. And there was a little jockeying with Kevin. Mark was sort of going to be in possibly with Lori, but they couldn't get the percentage right. But do you think Lori was the right shark?
I thought so. I thought it would have been nice if Mark had come in too and they split it, but he lost that because he sat around on it too long. He probably could have had it.
If I got this correctly, this was something that Mark opted out. He didn't want to do the deal anymore. He said 22% for the both of them, and Mark agreed to that. And then freaking Cam was like, "Will you guys take 20%?" So for two freaking percentage points, you got Mark Cuban to say, "Screw you, dude."
That's an
do
excellent-
not
Well,
do that. Nickel and diming. We've been talking about that, right?
No, but kind of. But Lori said no, she would not do it at the 22 because she said then it's
would
only
have,
11%.
You could see she was kind of.
I don't
She
think
wouldn't
so.
answer the question. It was funny. She
I don't
was
think
trying
she
not
would.
to answer it, but I think they would have gotten it at 22. I think they would have, but you
No,
know what?
I don't
She
think
got
so.
something. She in the end, she got a deal that she wanted.
Yes.
She wanted
did,
20%. He got a good shark because she'll be able to push it. I
Oh,
mean,
and it's the perfect
fantastic.
product.
Right.
For online, it's the perfect QVC product.
is, QVC.
And Tina says, by the way, thank you, Chris. She wasn't sure what to imagine, so you cleared that up.
Oh, good. Thank you, Tina. Thank you.
So good.
You know-
Sorry, I wasn't able to clear
He
that
paints
up.
a picture with his words.
Oh.
CHL. Chris
CHL.
Allies.
Yay.
Paints a
Yes.
picture with words.
But you know
I'm
what?
clapping by myself.
You know what? What was I gonna say? Oh, thank you. You're beautiful. You're a beautiful audience. Thank you very much. Thank you. I just wish my lovely wife Priscilla could be here with us tonight. What the hell was I saying?
You don't know what you're going to say.
No, but I was saying something. I was saying something. Damn it.
you were saying about Elvis.
No, it was about the product.
Hey, what does Elvis have to do with SeedSheet?
He has.
Because he was just doing an Elvis impersonation.
Yes.
No, that I don't know where that
I don't know where it came from either. Oh, it came from the applause. But the seed sheet, no, the product is
amazing.
Well, yeah, it's amazing. That's all I can say. I had some big cool thing I was going to say, and I lost it. I lost it.
Well, did you guys see the record setter? Good old Dan stopped by.
That was cool.
That's right.
Was it 7,000?
Precision planting 7,000 seeds in 14.15 seconds.
Yes.
So they set a world record with that.
Well, I was kind kind of wondering if that was one of those magic of TV gimmicks. It wasn't the Guinness Book of World Records. It was some vague
It was their
record.
own record.
Right.
I was wondering.
Like the records of ours.
But it was still some
Stuff.
showmanship, and showmanship works. I mean,
It
it's
is.
like, wow, it's that easy to roll it
Yeah,
out, you know?
that I think. But like, let's face it, if this were a big deal like the Guinness Book, you
Right.
think Cam would want to give up the glory of being listed in the Guinness Book? It would have gone to Mark for doing the actual work.
Right.
No, I mean, they did it just to put some showmanship
Yeah,
into
yeah.
their presentation.
Yes,
and, I
and
thought
in fact,
it
coming
leaves
up,
an
we're going
impact.
to talk about CropSticks, and they did a great job too when we get to that.
So when we get
Teaser.
at this rate, we will never get to them. So Tina says she thinks that maybe Lori doesn't want to go in with Mark because he always gets all in her business and more.
That's funny.
And Fantasy Stat says we have sexy voice. Thank you. Elvis, and what is Constance going
Oh
to
yeah,
do?
what are you gonna be?
Who is Constance?
Sexy voice, Elvis, and
Oh, sexy voice. Oh gosh, what am I going to be today?
yeah, who
You
are
could be
gonna
like Southern.
Blazer person?
Blazer. She's
No,
Blazer.
hello, voice. Don't you get it? Voice.
Oh, we have to do voices?
Yeah, I'm Elvis.
Jeez.
Who are you?
I don't know. It has to be impromptu.
Yeah.
Okay, you let us know when
Okay,
you
let us know when it hits
improvise
you.
that.
Yes, when I get that together. You
Okay.
guys, here's the thing though. I've been wanting to ask this for a long, long time.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Tina has a burn, or a good burn, whatever
burn.
a good burn is. No, she says, doesn't Constance have a sexy voice as well, though?
She does.
So, yes. So
Constance
there you go,
always
yes.
has it.
Yes, she
Right?
does. Yes, she does. So it's not a
Like
burn.
normally
it's a
it wouldn't be
compliment
you
burn.
that we think of the phone sex line for. It would
Thank
be
you so much, Chris Howard. Love. There's the burn.
there's the burn, feel
So,
the burn. Her.
did you? Yes, please tell us what you had
What
to
did you
say,
have?
Constance,
Yes.
in your
Okay.
sexy voice.
Well, Robert, now I'm gonna like talk like a not sexy person. Just okay, so Robert H.
Yes.
Whenever there's close-ups on his face, his eyes look very blue. So I was just wondering if he's wearing eye contacts to heighten, to optimize
Really?
his assets, or if his eyes are that blue because they look like alien eyes. They're fabulous. I
think
love them.
you know what? I think it might be the screens here at AFTERBUZZ.
Is that right?
I swear to God, because sometimes, like, I was watching these shows and I'm going, man, that person's got blue eyes, and even I felt weirdly attracted to the man whose blue eyes I'm looking at. It's like, this is fucked up, right? No, sorry. But
It's a
so then I'm like,
family
no, but
show.
then I noticed that another person had the blue eyes and another person had the blue eyes, and it's like, okay, wait a second. I think it's just the TV screen.
Okay.
here.
That is hysterical. I will have to pay attention. I think I've noticed
Have you
blue, but
noticed
I'm
that?
not positive.
No.
I just thought that was a really funny non sequitur.
Yeah.
Which we seem to specialize in. So, because
She has something else to say, though.
No,
well,
I don't.
she better
Oh.
say it quickly because
Okay.
we are trucking out of time.
All right.
We spent like 45 minutes on MealEnders.
We didn't talk about camping.
We're not
Camping?
there. Yeah, that's right. And little houses.
We
What
spent
is- did you
12
get a
minutes
tiny house or something?
camping in tiny houses
Did we?
and
12
serial
minutes.
killers.
Did you time
That's
us
not that
out?
long.
Well, I was putting together a little collage of it because it's seriously one of the funniest moments I've ever seen
Really?
on TV
Oh, that's
or
funny.
elsewhere.
Wow, we're that good. Okay.
Okay, so we already know they have a deal. So, Constance, would you be in or out with SeedSheet and
I'd
Cam?
I'd be in.
Yeah, or whoever you are, Chris.
In.
I'm totally in too. I love this. I'm like so excited about SeedSheet. I don't know why. Tina says there are subliminal videos on YouTube that can make your eyes green apparently. So maybe there's a lens to make it blue.
Could be
We'll
it.
have to check that out. So Fantasy Stats, Tina, anyone else who is lurking, aka just friendly sitting in the chat
right.
and
Are
not
you in
talking.
or out? Let us
Tell
know.
us if you're in or out. We will move on to CropSticks, which Constance was just talking about. Mylan, $75,000 in exchange for 12.5%. These are basically chopsticks where you can snap off the end and then use it as a chopstick rest. So, what are your initial thoughts?
I mean, I've got a number of different thoughts. I think I liked her because I thought she came from a good background. It was neat to see somebody coming from teaching entrepreneurship to going out there and launching a business. The chopsticks seemed to be a superior version of chopsticks, which was good. I think the Sharks rightfully pointed out that it is a commodity, and as such, the pricing strategy had to be to undercut the current competitors, which wasn't what she was using.
Right.
But you would think that they could just give her that feedback and they could go at it from a different angle. I don't know why they have a reticence to do that.
I know. Sometimes it's weird. It's like the cat wine guy gets all this love and money,
Right.
and this chick who's I was like, yes,
Like she's
smiling,
sharp, she's an
Yamamoto, yeah, great,
She
like
taught entrepreneurship.
all
she's
this stuff, and they're like, you screw you, you suck, you're a Bambi that's gonna get squished. Did you see at the end how she
Right.
left? She was like,
Yeah.
later, dudes.
Yeah, no, they were really rude to her, and that
They were
was, and Lori kind of stood up to her, but you know, they kind of, they were unnecessarily rude to her, because she's a smart woman. She's not, you know, because you have one mistake in your plan doesn't mean you can't be course corrected, and that's to me like here they have somebody who's a go-getter. Who started a business up from nothing.
Right.
She's landed big deals with the Hyatt. She's, you know, she's somebody that's going to go work it. She just needs maybe some direction as well.
Right. There's already
You know?
the purchase order. Wasn't the profit 125,000 off of that?
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
just
she was
like,
heading in a
she
good
was
direction. Maybe they don't want to be
launched.
that hands-on.
Yeah. Well,
But
I think the high-end market, like her strategy though, was to go to the
it
high-end markets that would
sounded
pay
legit. Yeah.
Yeah.
the extra 2 cents or whatever.
Right. It sounded like a legit strategy. And to be honest, I didn't quite get. They kind of glazed over that when she said that. She said that's our strategy is to go to the high end and sell there and then sell down when we can get our cost of goods down. She said it. But they just trampled over it as if it was never said. So I don't know. I think she got a raw shake.
I noticed that too. I do feel passionately actually about this one. But just to back up a moment, Tina says she would be in with SeedSheet's fantasy stats is out. He says if plants have to rely on him, they will die. So
They will die.
Yes.
I felt very passionately about CropSticks, but in the opposite direction. So I lived in Japan. And so what she's describing with the rest, so that is in Japanese restaurants. But what most people do, and like even with hers, they still have to come in paper. You take the paper off and you just sort of like origami fold it and you put your chopsticks on
Oh,
that.
you origami fold it.
If the rest is not available. And it's something that like everyone just does.
But you don't
And
do
so-
that here. I don't know how to do origami.
Well, yes, and so that's exactly actually my point. So here in America, people, what they tend to do, and I even admit sometimes I do this, I rest my chopsticks on my bowl. That's actually really rude. You would never do that in Japan, which is the whole reason you have those chopstick rests. In America, people don't know not to rest their chopsticks on their bowl, so they do it so they don't need the chopstick
I don't see that. I
rest.
just put it on the table. I take the germs with it.
Okay, that's just gross.
I don't even think about it. I
So
just put
that's
it
the
down.
problem I have, that in America, people don't care because they're sticking them on their bowl. And in Japan, it's not necessary because they still come in paper. You're still just going to like origami wrap it. A high-end restaurant will have the nice holder, and one that's not,
But it
you
goes
just
back,
wrap your paper.
It
like,
goes
it's
right
so
back to the
fast.
point, though, that because it's a commodity, that little difference, as you're saying, isn't going to make the difference, and a hotel's not going to care. But if you can undercut the competition on price, and by the way, we're better for the environment, and by the way, it's a better chopstick because you have this rest, then it makes it. But the only way to hit it is to get the price down below the competition.
I just think like that a nice restaurant is still going to have the rest. They're still not going to want to break that
They're not going to
off.
want to have that. you're saying.
No, you're not. They're not. Well, they wouldn't be using like cheap wood one. Like they're not gonna break it. Like I lived with a family. Like we didn't use wood ones at home. We used like the equivalent of a like you wash them and reuse them.
That's what they use in the nicer restaurants. Is if I
So and like what she said, about them being round. There are different styles, and actually, I have some from like Thailand that are more square, and those are much harder for me to hold. They're uncomfortable because they're square.
Huh.
Because that hurts your hand. There's a reason round. Like it's more comfortable.
What's the weirdest thing you ever bought or saw for sale in Japan?
Women's underwear used in a vending machine.
Swear
Weren't
to
you
God.
here?
I
when we
knew
had this
that. Yeah, I knew what you were going to
conversation?
answer.
We've had
They
this
sell like women's underwear or even like
used women's underwear.
in a
Actually, they
vending
outlawed
machine.
it.
They're for fetish type
Yep.
reasons.
And actually, I convinced a friend of mine to go in search of one of these machines. We took a train for like 2 hours.
Oh my
Nutbag.
I was so curious.
Did you buy any just out of
We
curiosity?
didn't. They were really
did?
overpriced. No, we did
Oh.
not. They were not like they weren't used anymore. You can't do that in vending machines. But okay,
Oh my God!
I'm gonna say this without implicating anyone. Someone I knew in Japan used to sell his sister's underwear.
Oh my God! Really?
Yes.
Did he sell them to the vending machine people?
No,
or
he
just-
sold them
just
to like friends.
I think there's like a crime there. It's like so demented. I can't even get into it. Did they ever have vending machines with used men's underwear?
No.
Okay, yeah. Always degrading us. That's it. Never dudes. Degrading women.
Why is that degrading you?
I think it's
selling-
appreciation.
It's appreciation, yeah.
fetishization. There's no positivity. Or rather, how can you make the case that it's not?
Because they want to smell your essence.
They
Your
do.
Right, but it's like that's a very, very private thing, so that would hence be a
But you're still-
violation.
It's not like they went out of their way to steal your underwear
Yeah.
to smell it. You're selling these underwear.
Right.
And
Like,
Right.
I don't know. where-
We assume, right? We assume. We don't know where they got the
Say
underwear.
there, let's just-
presumably people are making big money by wearing it and then selling it to like
Right.
Oh,
these
so,
companies.
okay. So we think it comes from
mean-
legitimate places.
I would, yeah, they're not stealing underwear. Where do you even steal it? I mean, other than this person I knew who I'm not going to implicate.
Maybe you got to pay. Maybe you got to pay.
Clearly, he knows that where to
Maybe you got to
steal
pay a
it.
premium for the stolen ones.
I would just never think of wanting to want men's used underwear because I would think it's just something very demented.
You
in my
haven't met the
mind.
right man.
All right, this is.
I
Gonna
will
get,
also say, if I
It
may,
would just be
if I may
insulting.
add to my vending machine story, so my friend Glenn, whose Japanese is like near perfect, he's from New Zealand and like almost fluent speaker level. I'm more elementary school level. So anyway, so we get to Kobe where we had heard there's a vending machine and we're like, but where do we go? So we go into this Love Hotel, it's called a Love Hotel. It's really a pay by the hour place. And so we and like there are screens so you don't see each other. It's all. So we ask like Glenn, who's Japanese, like, where do we find the underwear vending machine? And they actually came out to look at us like, who are these strange people asking for an underwear vending machine?
asking it all like broken up. Like where is
His Japanese
his
is
was good.
perfect.
Okay, right. His was good. Instead of you like, where is machine for underwear?
I have a good
Like,
story like that, but I can't tell it now. We gotta.
Yeah.
All
All
we
right.
do. We're not even gonna make it through. Okay, so we better hurry up. Basically, no deal. Are you in or out?
I'm out on the chopsticks too.
I
but-
guess you convinced me, Zoe. I would be out too.
I'm out. I
Yeah.
liked her.
Same
I love
here.
everything
liked her,
Japanese.
yeah.
But yeah, except I guess they used women's underwear.
Yeah.
Oh, Tina says she knows a person who sold her underwear to make extra money.
Really? How
This
much?
is the
How
best
much?
chat
What-
ever.
Ask her how much. How
Tina,
much?
how much? You can ask her. She hears you.
How much for a pair?
Yeah.
What is
And
with
can you convert it to
people?
U.S. dollars for us, Tina?
Yeah,
So
can
we
you
know.
convert it for U.S. dollars?
Because otherwise we won't know.
That's true. She'll tell us like in Switzerland.
See, no one can remember. Tina, where are you from again? Remind us.
Was it Belgrade?
No.
It was in
Slovenia.
Slovenia.
Am I right,
yes,
Tina?
Yes.
Oh, do I
Because
get
she
the
said that's
clapping?
where Dracula was from too.
Yes, Dracula.
Vampires,
I'm clapping for myself.
right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
There you go.
I was reading in psychology today.
Yes.
Psychology today that some people get into watching people blow up balloons. So I guess people are a trip. Bottom line, people are a trip.
Like those furry costumes that
There's the
people are into.
costumes, but then there's balloons.
That- I
There's
have
videos
never
of people
heard
just
that.
blowing up balloons.
Are you going to talk about that on your date show?
No.
Oh, you should. There's a total topic
should.
for that.
Is it?
You could do a whole expose.
Well, this is to help people get really great mates, long-term relationship. We do like.
How's it? What are you going to learn from that?
To avoid anybody who's into balloon videos, because you wouldn't
Oh.
have a regular sex life. You'd
Oh,
be
maybe-
into balloons.
I
Or
thought-
maybe you're into balloons
I
too.
thought you were watching
So
their
you're both-
technique to choose
but
your
then,
mate.
see, you both get excited by watching people blow up balloons.
You guys, we're supposed to wrap in like 1 minute.
Okay.
So Tina says the underwear, because clearly that's more important than
Yeah.
the fourth product. The underwear, the part, it's maybe $60 to $120.
All right.
Wow.
It's getting depressed
Tina also
now.
says we are still wrong. It's actually no. Fantasy Stats corrected us. She's from Slovakia.
Fantasy
So,
Stats knows.
Fantasy Stats gets the
Okay.
clapping.
Yeah.
not
We got to
us.
do this last one, don't we?
Yeah, we get the one. Okay.
Okay.
Under the weather, Rick.
Rick.
Oh, you guys in the chat, let us know still if you're in or out on CropSticks.
Yep.
Rick, under the weather, 600,000 for 10%. These are
Yes.
basically like pods you can take to sporting events and you can sit inside. So if it rains or if it's hot or windy or whatever, it's like a tent. In or out, you guys? Or what do you think of them? I skipped a little
I
too
thought they
far.
were interesting. I mean, it looks like this little tent that keeps your temperature and stuff. You know, I might want to have one just for like a survival kit.
Right. So anyway, he's done great. 2 million gross, which he's netted $1 million
Yeah.
off of that.
That's insane.
I know,
Yeah.
wasn't it insane?
Netted $1 million
Yes,
already?
and
Yeah.
Rick had a story. He was a strong presenter. He had just sold
Yeah.
a company for
Mm-hmm.
$3.5 million. So he's a seasoned CEO. He was very confident. Great presentation.
They
and
built it up to they were doing about $8 million a year.
Yes, exactly.
Sold
And
it for 3 point whatever.
yes, and his brother Mark. There was an emotional point where Rick talked about his brother Mark, who basically passed away in a accident, so it got emotional there, and I think that really, you saw all the sharks react to that if you watched the episode.
Yes. He got very emotional.
Yeah.
I mean, it was emotional, and I think, like, even the sharks, I think, sometimes don't know how they should react when someone cries in front of them and tells a traumatic story, and especially if they're not even sure if they want to invest. So I think it's also, like, an awkward thing for them.
I think to reveal within the context of the conversation is okay, because if it goes too far outside the context of the conversation, or if there's no interest in the product or service, then it's like, okay, this is awkward and weird. But because, I mean, he was a solid person, it added a feel-good moment where it's like, we can be part of this person's story.
Yes. It was like a perfect example if you want to see how that's done. Like, that segment was a perfect use of emotion. Not intended.
Not intentionally,
you know what I mean?
no,
Exactly, but just organic and of course, in that way.
And so I will say, apparently, at the beginning, according to Tina, Fantasy Stats and Tina both said that they were out. Fantasy Stats also says his mom would love the pod, so in for her. I'm going to ask you guys in the chat, since we're running out of time, also let us know in advance about Under the Weather while we continue. Tina has to run, so goodbye, Tina. Let us know quickly. So I kind of thought at first, like, this was kind of a joke, because it was like, you still have to carry something, and then the thing that stood out to me is once you're in your pod, you can't really talk to the person next to you, or like when it rains, it piles up on top.
I think you can unzip the one. I think the one that's joined, you can unzip so that you can talk, or leave it up so you don't have to talk to them.
That would be
Well, they
funny.
had, like, windows.
They were fighting.
Yeah.
And there was a couple watching
Zip.
the game. And they'd just be like, don't talk to me. I've got my cat wine.
I think that that's an excellent thing to have in your back of your car, just in case. I mean, if you got caught someplace or something, like a survival.
I guess, but isn't your car a survival thing then? Like,
How
wouldn't
about
you just stay in
Walking
your car?
Dead? If the world turned into Walking
That'd be
Dead.
too easy.
What, they're not going to come through your pod?
Yeah,
and
they
eat
would
you?
come through your pod, but it would be funny if you tried to, like, keep...
We
You
don't-
try to protect
But it would
yourself
be
by
funny.
going into your
The Walking
pod.
Dead aren't real. That's a TV show.
They're not.
That's a TV.
I thought Georgia was a mess right now with zombies.
Tina also says she won't be around for a few weeks. She has a friend from Canada coming over. They're going on a trip to Budapest. Tina, take us with you. That
Wow,
sounds
that's going to be
wonderful.
fun.
Yeah, that
I've
sounds
never
like a
been to
lot of
Budapest.
fun.
That
The
sounds cool.
architecture, I heard, is amazing.
Really?
Yes.
So Rick did wind up with a deal. It's a really interesting deal. So Mark said, like, Mark was pretty passionate.
He wound up with a great
And-
deal.
Great
Whoa.
deal.
Yeah.
And he really wanted Mark. He asked for him. So $600,000 for 15% is what Mark said. But then he wanted an option for another 10% in exchange for another $600,000. So what I liked about Mark's deal is he didn't just want the extra 10%, like, for fun. Like, he was willing to pay something back in, which I thought was very good. I mean, did you guys think that was a good deal? That's the deal he
Amazing.
tried.
Fantastic
Yeah,
deal.
Mark wanted it. When
Yeah.
people want something, they just are like, boom.
Yeah, and what was really cool was that Mark also said that $600,000 you can just put that right in your own pocket, because what most people don't realize is when they go out raising money for the business, they sell equity. The money goes in to build the business. He's saying, I want you to take this 600 because you don't really look like you need the money. You want a partner who can help you. Great, put that 600. So he cashes out 600 versus all these other deals that we see being made where all the money goes into the business to help to build the business, and that owner may or may not ever cash out.
Wait, explain again.
Yeah,
so
that's
I'm not. I partially followed. So the 600,000. What did he say he could cash out? He said
He gets
the
to take that money and put it in his bank.
The
That becomes
second 600.
both.
That
He
goes
said
right in your
both
pocket.
of these you can put those right in your pocket. So he, as an investor, was not expecting that his money be used in a way to augment the business.
So he was willing to literally buy in.
He
like,
was literally, yes,
right?
to just buy in, but he gets a cash out. So he had cashed out previously when he sold his other business for 3 point whatever, and now he's cashing out early on in the business because even he said we made a $1 million profit,
Right.
and he didn't keep that
didn't
money.
keep
He
it,
put it right
right.
back into the business. So to be able to extract chunks along the way is a godsend like that.
But why do you think he would do that? Because presumably Rick has plenty of money from selling his other business. So
Yeah.
why do you think he made that offer then to cash it
Because
out?
the money wasn't really necessary for the growth of the business. He saw that he had enough money coming in, but it's not that Mark had, was the guy. What was his name? The guy?
Rick.
Rick. Right. So I mean, even though he has cash, we're assuming it's nice to be able to get that cash out as well. In most cases, some people go, you know what?
Amazing.
I can use it far more effectively in my own business. I might as well pour it back in so that we can grow this sucker. But that's like a Warren Buffett.
Interesting.
you know, he's better off investing his own money because he's going to get a higher rate of return than he'd ever get if he extracted money and put it someplace else in most cases. But
Interesting.
yeah, so no, that's a nice little gift.
Right, and you know, Damon and Kevin wanted in as well.
Yeah.
And their faces looked a little like sour.
They were just kind of cut right out. Right?
After Mark just came in and it was like, boom, and I'll give you another 600,000.
Yeah, take another.
Well, he clearly wanted the deal with Mark because you're right. He had the offers from Kevin and Robert, which were good offers. Oh no, excuse me. Robert said he was out. He had,
And that's crazy. Like
from
if
Kevin.
Mark,
But then he said, right? He said, Mark, are you? Like he specifically
asked him.
turned to Mark,
Right.
right? Are you? And the others weren't even.
and
on
if
the
Mark
radar
buys
yet.
in for that other 600,000, he loses 25% in this business. He's still 75% shareholder, and he's got 1.2 million that he was able to get without having to build a business and sell it
Right.
and do that.
Very good point.
He just sold this little piece, and now he's richer on
Very
his own.
interesting.
Yeah,
Okay, so Constance, would you be in or out?
Oh, I'd be in.
Okay.
I'm in.
This is like a fear of missing out deal for me. I guess I'm in, but like I kind of thought they were joking.
You don't have to go in.
I know, but now I feel like you guys are going to be millionaires off of this business,
Yes.
and I'm going to miss out. So I guess I'm in, and I liked Rick. We do have a quick update. Dude wipes from last season. Basically, these are wipes for men, feminine wipes for men.
Feminine wipes for men.
And so
Just in case.
when they came into Shark Tank, they had $250,000. Now they have $3.2 million, and they've just gone into 4,200 Walgreens stores. Do you guys have
Wow.
any thoughts on Dude wipes right before we wrap
I
up?
love
Insane.
the concept. I'm gonna go look to see them in the local Walgreens.
They're
'cause I
baby
love
wipes
Walgreens.
called Dude Wipes,
I love that.
and they
And I want to check out the video. They talked about a video, of course.
Yes.
That Mark Cuban did a little
Cameo in.
cameo. Thank you, because he was the investor. And of course, their sales 250,000 before Shark Tank, 3.2
I know.
after.
Amazing.
The
And
Shark
that was
Tank
just last
effect.
season.
Yes,
We're not even talking a long time ago.
3.2.
The beginning of last season. So like, yeah, not that long ago.
Fascinating.
Fantasy Stats and Tina are both in. Tina also says that all of us are our own fandom, including Fantasy Stats and Tina. We're like
okay,
our
we
own
are.
world of
We're the
fandom.
fandom.
Yes.
And Fantasy Stats also points out our dearly beloved Camshaft also loved this product. So I feel like we should say a moment of silence for him.
We don't have time for a moment of
But we don't
silence
have
for
time
him.
for a moment. But if we did have time for a moment, by
We'd
golly, we
certainly
would give it to him.
That's right.
So as we wrap things up, we do have a new episode next week, so we will be back. Constance, where can people find you in the meantime?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram or Twitter at Constance Dunn.
And you can find me very skinny from my MealEnders on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Howard Live.
And I'm Zoe Hewitt. You can find me at Real Zoe Hewitt. That's ZOEHEWITT. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on YouTube at Zoe Hewitt, where I do a weekly movie analysis show. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of our Shark Tank After Show. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.